Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson we're going to set up the AWS command line interface. Now we did install it back at the beginning of the course, but we're actually going to start using it now in this section. And what we need to do is actually configure the CLI with some credentials. So it's going to run using our user account, using the credentials that are associated with our IAM user account. So it's very easy to set up. Let's head over to the Identity and Access Management console. In the IAM dashboard here, I'm going to go to Users and I'm going to locate my user account. So this is my user account here. Within my user account, I go to Security Credentials. And then we're going to use something called access keys. So access keys are credentials that are associated with your user account. So whatever permissions you have associated with your user account, you're going to have when you use these access keys. And access keys can be used programmatically, so you can use them on the command line interface and you can use them programmatically in application code as well. Now, a note on security here. These are highly sensitive, so anyone who has access to these will be able to use them to access your account using your credentials. So you've got to treat them very carefully. That means AWS generally recommend that you do not put these into your application code. Now, when we were actually using the EC2 instances in the course to actually access S3, we were using an IAM role, and an IAM role is a much better way. So for example, if you need your EC2 instance to access an AWS service like S3, then you use an IAM role and supply the permissions, and that means you're not storing these access keys in the code. So that works great for EC2, but it doesn't work for our own machines because we can't use a role on our home computers. So what we need to do is create the access key, and we can see it now. Now, obviously, you should not share this with anyone. I'm sharing it with you, but I can easily delete these before I release the video. So that's not a problem. Normally, you wouldn't share them. You can download the CSV file, and you can only see the secret access key here in the console once. So make sure you make a note of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to use it straight away. I'm going to copy my access key ID. And what we're going to do is come over to a command line. And let's just quickly check that we don't have permissions. So we're going to run AWS S3 ls. Simple command to list buckets. And it says it's unable to locate credentials. So we don't have any credentials on this machine. So we need to run AWS configure. It asks me for the access key ID. Now it's going to ask me for the secret access key. Now, the access key ID actually can be seen in the console later on, but the secret access key is the one that becomes hidden. So you must get this now. So I'm going to paste that in. It asks me for a default region. I'm going to specify this as AP Southeast-2 because that's the region I'm in. If you wanted to carry on using North Virginia, you could enter US-East-1 or have a look in the console and work out which region is the one that's closest to you that you want to use. So I'm happy with that one. I just hit enter again here, and now we're ready. So what I should be able to do now is actually run this command successfully, and I get a list of the buckets that I have in this account. So that's it. We've configured the AWS CLI with some credentials that we can now use to run the commands in the next couple of lessons.